Jim, our next question sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Charlie in Starkville, Mississippi.
I knew it.
Well, here's his question. Macaulay Culkin recently shared his frustrations with the current WWE product, saying they keep giving fans the same matches. Here's the quote. It's always like the New Day Usos, like frickin' every card. So yeah, you don't have this rich variety of talent that you might have had before. But even then, man, it's like how many times can we watch the same match over and over again? What are your thoughts on Macaulay Culkin's take on the current WWE product? This, of course, is most famously the Home Alone kid, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, well, I saw even more of this than you just read. And I will say that it's particularly galling to me and sticks in my craw when the product of anybody's company is so bad and it's so obvious what's wrong with it that even a numbnuts that doesn't have anything to do with the business like this can identify it. That doesn't help matters any. But did you see the other quote that he uttered? Apparently, he wanted to follow in the footsteps of old Freddie Prinze Jr., and Macaulay Culkin was saying, boy, I should have taken the leap and I should have been a writer for the WWE.
I did not see that, no.
Oh, yeah, and not only that, but he said, boy, I tell you what, I was sitting in a hotel on location or doing something, and I had all these ideas for Bray Wyatt that would have been so good. And either he mentioned something to somebody and somebody blew him off in the WWE or he didn't follow through or whatever the fuck. But like, hey, Macaulay, how about if I come out to California to Hollywood and come to your movie set and sit down and tell you, well, who ought to be working on the costumes and who ought to be working on the script revisions and how and by the way, let's tell the director what kind of angle and what kind of lens that we need to shoot this big dramatic scene with. Fuck you. Stay in your fucking profession and we'll stay in ours. And it's an indictment of unfortunately, how far the business has fallen into this entertainment hole that now movie stars in Hollywood think that they can just write this shit and that it's all scripted by the writers and blah, blah, blah. So this guy could have joined all the other notable comedy writers with all the great ideas he had for Bray Wyatt. I'm telling, nobody respects the business anymore. They think anybody can get in it because they can. They think anybody can do it because anybody's allowed to. And now all of the fucking jackoffs that can't get a job writing TV in Los Angeles think they can get a job writing wrestling. So I think he should have stayed home alone. I'm not surprised his parents left him. When he was a kid, his parents moved 7 or 8 times, and he found them every time.
All right, well, let's leave him alone. He's just a frustrated wrestling fan. But let's get another question.
There's nothing wrong with those. Everybody at one time or another has been a frustrated wrestling fan and, it'd be great if I could do this in the business or I could do that or blah, 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 or whatever the fuck. It's just you weren't allowed to unless you were good at it. I'm referencing back to a previous topic in the program. But that's it. It's everybody thinks they can do this shit and everybody's got a great idea because it's all just gaga to them.